Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina. I am the CEO and founder of the Reclaimed Woman, a global women's empowered a global women's empowerment company. I'm not even gonna cut that out because it's kind of funny. Nobody's perfect, right? All right, so anyway, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about the topic of how to prepare for a professional cheerleading audition. I'm going to share with you guys my top 4 tips. Number 1. So the first thing is to do your research on the teams that you're interested in. Every team, NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League, every professional level cheerleading dance team has a different style. They have a certain style of lipstick that the team wears. They have a certain way of doing their hair. Some are more like every girl has to look very much the same, and then some teams are a little bit more edgy. So do your research, take a look at the girls on the team, pull up like the team roster photo so you can get an idea of what their appearance looks like, and then go on YouTube, go on their Instagram page or their Facebook fan page and find their dance style as well. So do some stalking online to look up what their style is, because every dance team's style is different as well. So some are more like very like sharp precision based, like the Ravens, and then others are more hip hop. You know, other teams can have more technical elements in their performances, especially I think with the NBA, because they perform on a very different surface than the turf of a football stadium. So do your research, look and see what their style is physically and their dance style as well. Tip number 2 is to get in as good of shape as possible. So tip number 2, really get your cardiovascular fitness in check, because it is a grueling process when you try out for a cheerleading team. You're there for hours and hours and hours, and you're running the routine through your mind. You're practicing the routine over and over while you're waiting to go back and perform. They have you guys do warm-ups, and also game days. Game days are very long and you dance pretty much the entire time. So you really want to make sure that you are in the best cardiovascular fitness shape that you can be in, so that when you are doing your auditions, you don't look tired, you don't look winded, you don't look like you're about to pass out. Because if you think like audition days are tiring when you have to like give it your all in that like 3-minute routine, man, game days are even longer. So get out there, do sprints. I used to go for a run in the middle of the day in the summer, which was not fun. I would run like a mile or so just in the middle of the day, like 3 p.m., hottest point in the day in the summer when it was like 100 degrees, to condition my body. Because when I was on the Chesapeake Bayhawks, we would perform outside around 5 p.m. in the evening in the middle of summer when it was still like 100 degrees, and the turf is even hotter. Like our feet, you could feel the heat from the turf through your boots. Like, so the more that you can do to just condition yourself to be in the best shape ever, the more confident you're going to be in yourself when you go out there to nail those auditions and to perform. Tip number 3 is to, get honest with yourself. What are your weak areas? For example, if you don't feel as confident when it comes to your interview skills, make sure you practice your interview skills. If you feel like your dance technique is not as great, then sign up for dance classes. Take some private lessons with a dance teacher. The bare minimum you need for most teams is professional teams, not like semi-professional teams, not as much, but definitely professional, like NFL, NBA level dance teams, cheerleading teams, is to do a double. So you have to at least be able to do a double, and then you want to have good high kicks, because pretty much all the teams do kick lines in their routines at some point in their performances on game days. So being able to do kicks, being able to do a double turn, and then being able to do a leap, a basic leap, or an axel. A lot of the auditions will have you show off your technical skills, so you want to make sure you have something that you can show off. And if you're not good at those things, it's okay. Like, you can practice and practice and practice and get support from a coach in that area who can really show you and tell you what you need to work on with your technique that will help you get better. That is definitely what I did, because I didn't dance when I tried out. I was 32 and I started this whole process, and I hadn't danced since I was like 18 or 19. So it had been forever, absolutely forever. And that's okay. You can get your dance skills back if you haven't danced in a while. It's completely possible, but just get really honest with yourself and just think, okay, how are my interview skills? How are my speaking skills? Because a lot of the teams, you'll have to introduce yourself. Maybe not on day one, but if you make it past day one, for example, I know the Ravens, their first round is like, you literally just walk in, you have a number, you go, you do the routine, and then you do your technical skill, and that's that. But if you make it past the first round, then they want you to introduce yourself. So make sure you check in with yourself. Is that a strength of mine? Is that something I need to work on? Dance skills, your look. Your look is extremely important with an NFL, NBA team. You have to really look the part. So do you know how to look the part? Is that something you need to get support on? I'm trying to think anything else. If you're not really sure about the team, if you're not really sure about football or basketball or whatever sport, that you're going after, do your research and learn some facts. Learn some information about the team, learn some information about that particular sport, just so that you're prepared. It's not to say that necessarily you're going to be quizzed on that stuff. You may not. I know when I tried out for the Baltimore Ravens Playmakers, their appearance team, you have to introduce yourself on the stage, and then they ask you guys questions. And one of the questions is, are you a fan of the Ravens? Another question is, who's your favorite player? And so this is why it's good to just have some basic knowledge, because if you are put into that position, you will know what to say instead of being completely caught off guard. So do your research, be honest, and assess yourself. Very, very, very important. All right, the next one, I think we're at number 4, aren't we? I hope so. I'm starting to lose track. All right, so number 4 is to, what is my number 4? Number 4 is to go to the audition even if you don't feel ready yet. This one I think is the most important tip I can give you, which is, even if you're not ready, go anyway. Go and try out anyway. These teams love dedication, and they love growth. They love to see that you care enough about this team that even if you get cut, you're going to come back. They love to see that, okay, this was where you were last year, but wow, look at the progress you made. Like, you really care. You really are committed to making this team, that you spent a whole year preparing yourself, and now you look even better than you did when you first tried out. So when you go and you try out anyway, they start to think about you. Like, they'll remember you the next year when you try out again. And so it's really good because they really value commitment and dedication. Those are important qualities to have as a cheerleader. The amount of time that you spend devoted to the team and going to practices or meetings, game days, appearances, it takes a lot. So they really want to know that people are committed to doing this, that you're going to follow through. So when they can see that you have put in a lot of effort to come back again after you were cut, that really means a lot. When I made the Baltimore Ravens Playmaker team, the first year I tried out, just to do it for me, and I didn't really think I would make the team anyway, but of course I kind of wanted to, but I just, being, honest with myself and where I was at, had a feeling I wasn't prepared yet or ready yet. So anyway, I went to a prep class for the Baltimore Ravens cheerleaders, and while I was there at this prep class, the coach to the Playmaker team attends and talks about the promotional team and how it's another good option for people to consider if they don't make the cheerleading team. And, just talks about what the promotional appearance team does and all that stuff. So I made it a point, which this is another tip, so this could be like tip number 5, to go up and introduce myself to the coach, because I was definitely interested in being on this appearance team. It sounded like it'd be a lot of fun. So I made it a point to go up and say, hello, I'm Christina. I am so interested in trying out for your team, and I wanted to come over and say hello. I think I might have asked a question about what she was looking for in terms of style or appearance or something like that. It's always good to ask a question, guys. It shows that you're interested. So I introduced myself to her at the prep class. Then I went to the cheerleading auditions, tried out, didn't make it. Then I went to the Playmaker auditions, tried out, didn't make it. But again, I had met her at the prep class. She saw me again at the auditions. So then you fast forward a year later, and I'm back at the Baltimore Ravens cheerleader auditions, and I see the coach, and I don't think, in my mind, I'm thinking, she doesn't remember me, so I don't want to be awkward and go hi, remember me? I don't want to say that to her, so I'm not going to say anything. That's kind of what I was thinking at the time. She literally walked up to me and goes, oh my God, Christina, you look absolutely amazing, because she remembered me, you guys. This is why it's so important. They remember you. They remember you. So she said to me, wow, you look amazing. If you do not make the cheerleading side, which I'm not saying that I hope you don't, but if you don't, she was like, I really hope you come to Playmaker auditions, because Playmaker auditions are the following weekend after the cheer auditions. So that right there was like, wow. I mean, it felt really good, number one, for her to see the change from my first audition to this one, and then for her to remember me. It really boosted my confidence in my chances of making this team, because she had seen what I had done in a year. So I highly, highly, highly recommend to everybody I talk to that is interested in trying out for the NFL or the NBA or any professional level team to go and try out, even if you're not ready yet, because then they can see where you are, and then you can just blow them out of the water the following year after you've had a whole additional year to prepare. Also, in addition, when you go to the tryouts, you actually now have an idea of what to expect, so it makes it more familiar, because it's scary. It is scary putting yourself out there like that. It is not easy to put on a tiny 2-piece outfit and show up around all these other amazingly talented, beautiful women and put yourself out there like that. It's scary. So doing that before you're ready gives you good experience, and then it makes it more familiar, and then you know what to expect for the next year, and you know what you need to work on, because while you're at these auditions, you can look around at the ladies who are veterans and at the new ladies, and just really see where others are at, and then you can kind of assess yourself, like I mentioned earlier, so you know what to work on and what you need to improve on for the next audition. And there was one more thing I wanted to say about that. Oh yeah, the other reason why it's nice too to go to the audition even before you're ready, and also the prep classes, let me throw that out there too, go to the prep classes as well, is that you get to make friends with other people. And then when you have friends that are also auditioning, you guys can hang out together, encourage each other, and makes it a little less lonely and a little less intimidating when you have other people that you're with. So it makes it a little bit more fun. So those are my 5 tips for auditioning for an NFL or NBA pro team. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I'm definitely going to be doing more videos about just the professional cheerleader world, the Baltimore Ravens playmaker promotional team world, my experiences. I think I'll dig in a little bit deeper in the future about like why I chose to go after this in my 30s, when most people would think that you're too old and it's not possible, to which I say anything is possible and there are no limits. But I definitely plan to dig in more. And if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I actually usually have 1 or 2 ladies who find me on Instagram through, I think maybe like the hashtag, like Baltimore Ravens playmaker hashtag or something like that, and ask me questions about the audition process and what to expect. So I definitely don't mind answering your questions if you guys have any, and I will see you all next time. Au revoir.